What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the premiere episode of the What's Up Chuck podcast. I'm your host, Chuck Collins. And yes, I got my own podcast, guys. Well, check this out. In putting together the first episode, I was wrecking my brain, trying to figure out who should be the best guest. I wanted a dope guest, and, I was just like thinking, and then she walked in the room. I said, all right, problem solved. So, I have invited my wife, Miss Kenyatta Collins. What's up, Kenyatta?
Hey, what's up, Chuck?
Hey, nothing I can't call it, I can't call it. Look, let me catch my breath before I go over all this woman's accomplishment. Like I said, she is a dope guest. She has done a ton of things. I'm not just saying that because I'm on payroll. I said it because it's for real. Let me just go down. She is a woman of God, first and foremost. Wife, mom, nurse practitioner, businesswoman, life coach, author, philanthropist, mentor. I think she went to school with Jesus of Nazareth. Man, she does it all. Without further ado, Miss Kenyatta Collins, welcome to the show. Y'all give her a round of applause.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate this.
I mean, it's like, did I have a choice? I'm kidding, guys. No, I will say you are the executive producer of the show. You have worked behind the scenes to get me greenlit. That's what they say in Hollywood and ATL. But yeah, we here now.
Hey, it's what's up. I'm proud of you.
Man, thank you for jumping on the show.
This is so cool.
Thank you. All right, so tell me about being a mom and a wife. What does that mean to you?
That is my world. That's the basis of everything. That's the why behind everything that is done. Being a mom, wow. To see my daughter growing, to see the person she's becoming, to know that I had a little bit of something to do with, who she's becoming is great. She's her own person. I call my daughter Liberty my quiet storm because she's shy, she's quiet, but y'all, she knows so much about so much.
She definitely is.
She's an amazing kid, and I'm blessed. We're blessed because she's a great kid.
She's definitely a genius up there in her own little world, and whatever it is that she's thinking about or creating or brainstorming on, it's over. And she's locked in, she's locked in.
Absolutely.
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
know where she gets that from.
I don't know. All right, so grew up in the great state of Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
Louisville, Kentucky to be exact.
Shively.
What up, Shively? Shout out to Shively.
Yeah.
I've been on there a couple times. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about growing up in Kentucky and what that experience has helped you with.
Wow, growing up, it was an amazing time growing up. It was me, my parents are still together, and my younger brother. We're 4 years apart. So I had my friends, he had his friends, but he would always find a way to come out there and just, oh, she's adopted, or whatever he would say. You know how siblings are. We had our little rivalry. It was never really that physical, but we played mind tricks with each other. But now, all that's changed now. We're a lot better off than we used to be growing up. That tit for tat kind of thing. And because he was so much younger than me.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, if he do something like, Mom, she'd be like, if you don't let him know.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, he's a baby. She said, you better let him know. So I let him know. And
4 years is a big difference back in the young days.
But that's when I got my nurturing side too as well, because when he was younger, I would find myself wanting to help my mom with certain things. And there was an incident, and you'll see it in the book too. I talk about this a little bit more, where he was on the bed. Mom's like, go check on him. He's crying. He's my brother Trey. He's crying. What I do with my little self? Go in there, check on him, and jump off the bed with him to bring him to my mom.
Wow.
she told me go check on him.
Instead of one thud, it was two or three studs.
It was
thuds.
two.
Okay. I got you.
No, he was fine. He was okay. But I had a good childhood. I grew up, we grew up in church. I got my foundation there. I had some amazing parents, amazing grandparents, and a host of cousins. And I was real cool with my aunts. I had friends, but my aunts, we would go to the mall. We would get on the Tark and ride from our home.
Who know about that Tark life?
Hey, you know about that Tark. Get your transfer ticket for the way back. We would get on the Tark bus and we would ride out to the mall and stop at Auntie Annie's and get us a pretzel and just make a day of it. We had a great time. So I had a good childhood. All the way up through.
Oh my
goodness.
You
know what it is.
All right.
Can't have them that much no more because, metabolism ain't the same. But it's okay.
All right. So you grew up in Shively, and Graduated from Central, right?
Yes, sir. Yellow Jacket.
It's a couple of Central graduates around these parts. My
We doing
sister,
some
my
good
mom,
things.
my dad, your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I ain't go there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But all right, so like LeBron, you took your talents to the University of Louisville. Talk about that.
Okay, so I started out at University of Louisville, and I went in. I'm doing political science because I'm going to law school. That was it.
What law school was you gonna go to?
Brandeis School of Law. I was applying to that school.
Oh, I thought you wanted to go to like Stanford or Harvard, but you was gonna go to University of
You
Louisville.
know, I mentioned that I was going to, shoot for that.
Yeah.
It was on the list, but I knew potentially Brandeis.
I got you.
Yeah.
More than likely, you just
More than
write it
likely.
out
I
at the
mean, we
bill.
all have things we aspire for, but I was okay with Brandeis. Stanford, yeah, because you want to get away, you want to travel, so that was my far-fetched school.
Yeah, I got you.
Applications is gonna be everywhere, but I was there, University of Louisville. Had my first year, and first semester I had a roommate. Second semester, my first year, guess who had their own room?
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to pay a little extra, but I was like, I like my own space. I want to decorate my room the way I wanted it to be. I was excited to have my own little room. And then I transitioned to be a RA.
Okay. You had a little authority.
Had a little authority,
You was writing people up?
Rarely. Because I like to talk with people. I don't remember having to write up.
Was you holding to the curfews?
Most of it.
Oh my goodness.
Most of it. Within reason. My girls knew I had an open door policy. The only time I remember closing my door and saying, hey, don't mess with me is when I I procrastinated. I waited to the last minute to do a 16-page paper that was due the next morning. When you have to go to the library and check out all the books?
Yeah.
I had a desk and I had books stacked up to the side of me like this. Both sides.
Man.
Turned that paper in. I got an A on it. But that was one of the times I had to have my door closed.
You gotta let them know.
I had to let them know, hey, don't disturb me right
16.
now.
I got 16 I got to turn in.
16 pages to do. I was tired, but that paper was turned in on time.
Oh man! And so
My fault.
Okay, and so you did graduate with a political science degree.
I did political science degree and started working at the bank.
So she said, forget Brandeis School of Law. I'm gonna go work at the bank. So you was getting to the bag.
Time span. I moved from Louisville, Kentucky to Lexington, Kentucky. Okay. While I was there, I studied. I studied for the LSAT. I took the LSAT. I was actually writing my admissions letter for law school, the personal statement piece.
Okay.
And then that's when I had a come to Jesus moment. I was like, you know what? Do I really want to do this? Is this really where my heart is? Is this really my passion? And so, I laid it all out there. I said, I felt like I had gone to school for something I had mentioned as a child and felt I was groomed into that, but never really addressed the fact of, is this my passion?
So at that point, you realized, as you were studying for the LSAT, that it wasn't your passion.
Yeah.
Because growing up on 22nd Street, that's the goal. The goal was, somehow make it to college, somehow become a doctor, a lawyer, or one of those two.
Yeah. I
knew for sure I'm not going to be a doctor because I don't like craziness.
Yeah.
And being a lawyer was way too much reading for me. So, when I graduated school, shout out to the communications degrees in the department. But look at me now, I'm on the podcast.
Yes, okay.
Hey, it works.
You in your zone, baby.
It works. But anyway, yeah, so when you graduated and I just knew when I left Louisville that, when I heard about you that you were going to be a lawyer. But life happens, right?
Life happens, life happened. I had my daughter. I was working as a personal banker. And then some other things happened and I found myself back home in Louisville, Kentucky.
Back in Shively.
In my parents' house. That was a humbling experience.
Shout out to mom and dad.
Hey, mama. Hey, daddy.
Yeah.
So, that was a humbling experience. I had to recognize that, this is it. I can't afford to not work in my zone. I got to figure myself out and figure out what actually is driving me.
Right.
And I realized I love to be around people. I love to help people. That's why law was intriguing because I was like, I can help people.
Right.
I can do this.
So you would have been a defense lawyer.
Defense, I was looking at some corporate because, I wanted to do some corporations, but civil law was good for me.
Okay.
I was like, I want to do some civil law, some other cases and things like that. But in this moment of seeing what was my driving energy was people. Service. Yeah. So I said, okay, I could do teaching. I think I would have been a pretty cool teacher. But then there was something else in me. I said, no, I like the science side of things. And so I went back into the medical field, talked to my Aunt Nikki a little bit, and got myself enrolled into nursing school.
And Aunt Nikki was a nurse?
Aunt Nikki is a nurse.
Okay.
So I went back to the University of Louisville and started my prerequisite courses.
So pause right there. That's crazy because people who know you now,
yes,
they see where you are in your career. You know, and successful as it is right now.
Right.
But they think that, you know, this and this all aligns at the right time the first time for you to become a nurse practitioner. But that is not your story, right?
This didn't happen like no overnight oats.
Zigzags, right?
Yes.
Zigzags. What your plan is versus what actually happens is so different. But go ahead. So you enrolled in nursing school as the second time around.
Yeah, University of Louisville, back in there again.
Okay.
Old stomping grounds.
Okay.
Different vibe this time. But I was in there taking my science courses and other math courses and everything that was involved in my prerequisite courses. And at the moment of, you know, applying to the actual nursing program, the accelerated program is what I was applying for. When it came time to fill out those applications and get letters back for acceptance, I was on the move.
You had to make a choice.
I had to make a choice.
You was ATL bound.
I was ATL bound.
You was an ATL shouty.
You put a ring on it, boo. I was on my way.
Hey, man, I made a few payments.
So at that time, I had professors calling me, Kenyatta, where's your application? We were, you know, you're pretty much a shoo-in for the accelerated program based on my experience and history with them. I was going to be in the program. Okay. I was like, you know what? I'm moving to Atlanta. So I uprooted myself and my then 3-year-old daughter to make
starting over for the third time.
Yes.
Again, with the zigzag. Life is not always as it seems, but it's all about how you handle what you're dealing with, right?
And it's, you know what? It's a thing on my vision board right now. It says bounce forward.
Oh, that's cool.
Bounce forward. So you don't always have to bounce back.
Yeah.
You know, I was making moves. I was going in directions of how life was unfolding for me. And I was open to some changes and open to realizing that things are occurring, but it's all to the good. And as we see, it all worked for the good of things, for everyone involved.
Right. So shout out to Joe and the homie Kels for, me and her had met in the 7th grade, 8th grade, middle school days.
Great.
Yeah, I was on the basketball team. She was on the cheerleader, go figure. She was on the cheerleading team, go figure. And, we was cool. We were so cool. And then we actually went to the University of Louisville together. I don't know how I got accepted, but I made my way unto the University of Louisville. And,
Black Achievers.
Right.
I came back in Black Achievers.
Came through Black Achievers. Yeah, man. And, so we reconnected, and one conversation led to 100 conversations, and after that, we both were locked in. We was grown at that point.
It all started with that.
It was time to make decisions.
Guess who text?
Hey, guess who text?
Guess who?
I've been texting ever since.
And timing was key for that, though, because it could have been a whole lot of other things that didn't allow for that moment to align. But timing is very powerful. I believe that many things happen for a reason, and I thank God for that moment.
So you moved to Atlanta. Yes. Everything was peaches and creams at this point, right?
Yeah, I moved down here to Atlanta. I'm in here with my fiance, my daughter. We doing things big.
Yeah.
And what's the game plan? I said, okay, I got to do something. I'm here. I can't just be sitting. I'm not a still person.
Okay.
So I had to do something.
Okay.
And my something was to get a job.
Okay.
I knew I couldn't get right into the nursing program from the time that I moved down. The school program had already started, so I had to wait till the following year. So in that time, I was working at a shoe store. Famous footwear, to be exact.
Famous footwear. Smelling toes and handing out socks, huh?
But I did my thing. I knew that was a stepping stone. I always see experiences as stepping stones. Nothing that has to be my concrete. This is it. That was a stepping stone. From there, I enrolled into a CNA program. Okay. Because I knew I wanted to, continue back in this. I got to get some kind of working experience in the medical field.
So you had to build your resume up once you got to Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay, and at the same time, get a little cash. That's why you was working at the shoe store. Yes. Then you got the CNA. All right, tell me how CNA went.
CNA was cool. I went to a little program. It was a few weeks long. Get your hands in there, get going. Made some good connections. And from that connection to my CNA program, which I was vice president of that class.
You always been the head of the class.
You got to do your best wherever you are. Do your best no matter what's going on.
Right.
They was ready to promote me for management at the shoe store, and I backed off of that one because I knew that wasn't my plan. But I say that no matter where you are, put your best foot forward because you don't know those connections you're going to make in that situation. So, graduated from the CNA class and also working at a facility as a CNA. From there, I go back and I get enrolled into Clayton State nursing program.
Man. So you finally get into the nursing program after years and years of, about to get in, pause, move, have to wait. When you get to Atlanta, now you're in.
Yes.
And that was a big deal. You getting accepted in.
Oh
because,
my gosh, I was so excited.
Yeah, because it was a whole bunch of people who applied, but you got in.
You know what? They said don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
I applied to one school first time, got in. I'm not saying that for everybody. Don't
You
rely
would recommend
on
it?
I don't recommend it. I mean, give yourself some options. But I just believed. I just went, gung ho, and I said, Lord, if this is your will, I'm applying here, and I got in.
All right, so you got in. Things changed quickly when you got to nursing school, correct?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead and dive into that.
Okay, so even at the orientation, they talked about who's your support system. I said, okay, I've been through school before. I've gone through college courses. I'm going to have a support system. I'm here with my fiance. I got good parents, So I don't take any of that for granted. But I'm so thankful that I had a support system because those classes are not a joke.
Yo, for the spouses whose wife or significant other is getting in nursing school or medical school, hey man, shout out to y'all. That thing is a beast and a half, man. Listen, hey, we was holding this thing together by strings, duct tape and all. We talking about
clinicals and
oh my god, we passing ships. We had baby drop offs at the Wendy's and McDonald's.
You was at the time.
Man, I was leaving.
Shifts,
I was leaving. You was going in, and then I think a couple years later it switched to you was working nights, I was working days. Oh my goodness, man!
Once I graduated, I did days because I was certain as a nurse extern at Grady Hospital, got hired in.
Shout out to Grady.
I graduated. Thanks, Grady.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Grady.
Probably me neither.
The billboard shout out.
Yes. So I went into working as a nurse, and then of course many nurses that start, sometimes you get the night shift, and I got the night shift, but it was cool. I had some good coworkers on the night shift, some amazing physicians I work with. But yeah, those passing shifts, that was rough. So man. I finally made it back to day shift, and
yeah. So you were at Grady. Talk about Grady a little bit. A lot of people, don't like Grady. A lot of people like Grady. Tell me about your experience there.
I thank Grady for everything that they instilled in me as a nurse. I truly believe that I would not be the nurse that I am today if I did not have that experience.
Okay.
I think many people should go in and try and apply their work there. You see so much. You meet so many great people. It's a teaching hospital. Yes. It's a very good trauma. The burn unit. Okay, burn unit. That's where I worked. So Grady's a great hospital to me.
Okay.
Grady's great. It's expanding. They're growing. They have so many different technologies there and top of the line, top of the art physicians.
Yeah. Mhm. All right. So
Grady's great.
Oh, Grady's great. All right. So so you were working at Grady, and then came the moment of achievement, right? Where you graduated nursing school, right?
Yeah, I was working at Grady.
Yeah, so you were working at Grady, and then you crossed that stage. You finally was able to graduate. You put the grind and the effort in, and you graduated with your nursing degree. And I remember we was hyped. We was like, yes, yes, we are done with this grind.
All that time, man. Yeah. So let's go back to the graduation of nursing school before I actually get into Grady. It was such a surreal moment.
Okay.
I just felt like, okay, I can do this. This is not my end. This is a beginning. This is a beginning. I had so much energy, and I still do. The passion of, yes, I accomplished it. So what's next?
Right. What's next?
Walking across that stage, it was. I don't know. I think I held my breath until I got back to my seat. Like, this is really happening. I couldn't stop smiling. Like one of those smiles that's like placid on your face, and your cheeks hurt because you're smiling so hard. I had that.
Man, I remember it was crowded in that graduation. It was pumped. Clayton State was showing up and showing out.
What did my daddy say?
He was like, what did he say?
Oh, it was my master's graduation.
No. Yeah, your dad, he's got another one-liner for when you graduated them. When there was some male nurses walking behind you, he was like, who is them, doctors? I'm like, nah, they nurses too. We'll talk about that later, but...
I love my dad.
Shout out to Mr. JR. You are a champ, man.
Yeah.
All right, so you walked across that stage and you graduated. So you got a job as a nurse, right?
Yeah,
so
I was working at Grady.
Back to Grady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grady got that grind. Taught you how to, you know, how to do the whole nursing.
So let me clarify something. So I started out at Grady as a nurse extern.
Okay.
And I was working there up until I graduated. And so once I graduated, I just kind of like was able to streamline into my nurse position. So
okay. Burn unit, right?
Yeah, burn unit. That's where I was a nurse practitioner. So I just stayed on the unit and I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. Worked on the ICU, worked on the step down, learned so much stuff.
Right.
So much.
So you was at Grady grinding it out.
Yes.
You know, you got your hands dirty with nursing, holding your own on the burn unit, which is a tough unit. I don't know if you guys know about nurses on the burn unit, but man, so it's a lot of difficult days over there. All right, and so then you took me out to lunch. You took me to a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I have to tell you something.
El Caliente.
Have to share my heart with you again.
Oh, my goodness.
Sometimes you gotta.
As soon as the chips and dips arrived, what happened?
You gotta get to a man through his stomach. So
oh my goodness. So what did you say when you took me to the restaurant?
I was like, babe, you know what? I think I'm gonna go get my master's degree. I'm gonna be a nurse practitioner.
And then I cried.
Why you cry?
I do it again. Wait, for real?
Yes.
So we put together the whole program once again. I'm like, how long is this? And how long we gonna have to do this? And hey, don't do no more school after this. This it. Like, I remember I kept telling my dad every year, like when he was gonna graduate, and he would mess it up every time. He'd be like, when she gonna graduate? Pops next year. I thought she graduated this year. No, Pops next year. And at some point, I got confused too. I'm like, I don't know when she gonna graduate, Pops, but she gonna do it.
I did the part-time program.
Yeah,
I wanted to still be able to work.
3 years, right?
Yeah, 3 years versus a 2.
Right.
So I did the part-time program, and I'm glad I did because I was able to pace myself and really absorb all that information. Because again, it was heavy laden with material.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did it because Grady actually helped pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Right. Shout out Grady. I love y'all. I love y'all, Grady. Grady, I love y'all. All right, so nurse practitioner, right?
Yes.
That's the goal. You in school, you doing the work, and talk about that. I know that was, if nursing school was hard, I know nurse practitioner school was next level.
You know what, though? It's a lot of organization. As long as you staying organized with what you're doing, what you know you need to accomplish, time management was the biggest piece. Just, okay, I know I have to get these chapters in. I know I got to get this paper done, and my clinicals are coming up. I got rotation. I got this project I got to complete.
Okay.
And this group I got assigned to. Time management, that's a life key. That's a life lesson. That's not just a program. That's for life. Because even now, my planner goes with me everywhere.
Got to stay organized.
Got to stay organized. If it's not in my planner, it's in my phone, and sometimes it's in both. And actually, I have three. I have 3 planners.
I got you. All right, so everything is going, I guess what we call smooth.
As well as you can say, yes.
And then what happens? The car accident.
So October, I was scheduled to go back to work at Grady. I had taken some little personal time off, just for personal reasons, which some people do. But I was going back to work on October 1st. I was supposed to start back, the next day. Well, I left Grady from getting everything done, and on my way home, I found myself in a car accident. A pretty bad car accident, involving 3 cars.
Yeah.
Myself in the tree.
And the tree. The tree. So at this time I'm in a business meeting. Normally I have my phone turned off, but you had installed this thing where when the phone rang, the light would flash, right? And so my light kept flashing on my phone. I'm like, what is going on? And so I pick up the phone. It's a man calling me. He's like, hey, excuse me, is this Charles Collins? I'm like, yeah. He's like, your wife has been involved in the accident. I'm like, nah, can't be my wife. I just talked to her. He was like, no, you need to come now. She's been involved in the accident. So I jumped in the car, man, got over there. He told me where she was. I got over there, and when I pull up, it was so much traffic. I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is not going to be good. And so I maneuver around the traffic. I pull up to the accident. I see her car. Her car swinging in the trees like a monkey, y'all. Like, I wish I had the technology to show y'all the way her car was. It was destroyed. And so I saw her car, and I'm like, oh, man, that's not a good look. And so I also saw the ambulance wasn't moving. So I'm thinking, like, 2 things for an ambulance not to move. Either I'm about to be a single dad.
Bless you.
Or, like, she's okay. Turns out she was banged up. You had a couple injuries, right? I
had a lot of bruised ribs. I had a huge laceration in my left leg.
Yeah.
I had fractured my ankle in 3 places. And my tooth was missing.
Oh my gosh, she had a lisp when I got in there.
You like that lisp though?
I done messed up now. I'm like, oh god, we're gonna have to get the dentist.
So I don't know, but my tooth was actually
embedded in
my chin, and they found that later down the line with
X-rays.
at the X-rays at the dentist office, because even in the ER they couldn't see it.
Oh my goodness, man! Like that's the thing. Like people don't know all the stuff that you've been through. You are such an overcomer of obstacles, man. You continue to push through.
Glory to God.
Yeah. So people don't know that when they meet you, they don't know your story unless you happen to bless them with sharing a story. Mm-hmm. So you end up going to
Grady.
It's all up in the story.
They said, where you? I said, take me to Grady. And I went down there and was taken into the emergency room.
Yeah, because they were going to take you somewhere else at first. Yeah, it was like, nah. Yeah, we both was like, nah, take her to Grady. Man, when they found out that you was down there in the ER, they was saying secret codes and secret languages, from the unit, whispering in their jackets.
Dr. Hyde, one of us. Ingram and Nora came running down. Yeah.
So you were pretty banged up, man, but you got out and you were wheelchair bound.
Yes, because I couldn't really walk. I couldn't put any weight on the right leg because of the fractures, and then the left leg because of the big laceration in the knee. So I couldn't really walk per se. So
if you guys get to hang around me and Kenyatta, y'all may hear me call her Scoots. And I told a story one time in one of my speeches about the nickname and how it became famous in our house, because when we got her home from the hospital,
had to scoop me up the steps.
And we had a house that had a lot of steps, and it wasn't really a lot of room to sleep downstairs, so we had to somehow get her up the stairs. And again, she had this broken ankle, foot, or whatever you want to say. And so it was just determined that we was just going to scoot her up the steps. And so I introduced y'all Scoots, a.k.a. Kenyatta.
Hey.
So last time I checked, it's hard to practice medicine when you in a wheelchair.
Oh my gosh!
So talk about that. Like you had the accident, you were in a wheelchair.
The semester before my last, so
You about
and
to finish up.
I was in clinicals, and you got to get your clinicals done before you can graduate. Now my options were, after speaking to my professors, was, oh well, maybe you need to take this semester off, start back next year, finish things off. And me and myself and my determination, I said, I've come too far. I have gone through so much. Some things we ain't even talked about. That's for a later time. So much. And I said, this has to come to fruition. This has to be completed now.
Right.
So that and my determination and willpower and just putting some things into place. What you end up doing? Dropping me off at my clinical site. And I walk up in there with a walker.
Yeah.
Time had passed. I had to take a little time off, but I went back up in there with my walker.
Man, wow! I wonder what those patients' face looked like when they opened the door. It took you 6 hours to get in there with your little walker and laptop and all that stuff.
Hey, I'm Kenyatta. I'll be. They were like, "Do you need to sit on the exam table?" I mean,
oh my goodness,
hey,
man!
I'm okay. I'm here. I'm getting this done.
But you got it done.
I did. I did that. I went up to my crutches from there and
crutches.
Kept it moving.
Yeah, and then you graduated.
Then I came across that stage one more time.
Man, you talking about the first time we was lit. The second time, yo.
Because there was so much to this backstory. There was so much.
Yeah, all the obstacles that you had overcame. Again, people don't know.
Absolutely, this was more than just me walking across the stage to get this degree. This has so much behind it. Liberty in the hospital.
Oh yeah,
there was so much going on. My daughter was in the hospital. I was studying for my boards when she was upstairs in the hospital working with physical therapy. Can y'all imagine?
Yeah, it was so much going on, man. It was so much going on just at the same time. But you made it.
I did.
Your parents were already in town because Liberty was sick, and Liberty was able to get well right before you graduated.
Thank you, Lord.
You was able to kind of you had started walking again. You graduated from your crutches, from your walker to your crutches to back to walking. So you were able to actually literally walk across the stage. Yeah, and your dad hit us with his African voice. We love you, Kenyatta. He was like.
It was like the most silent time.
Came from his soul. He was an African American on that day, man. But yeah, man, we were so happy.
It was a
we were so happy. So now, So now, like, you're a nurse practitioner now. Now
Yes.
you've already done the nursing grind. You already went and got a higher education. Now you're certified like a referee with a whistle. Now,
Okay.
now you get the white coat.
Yes.
Now it's on and popping, right?
Yes.
So talk about your nurse practitioner and what all that entails.
You know, when I first started working, we had conversations at home, and you know, because the flesh will get you sometime. I was wondering, although I know everything that I know and I got this degree, what if I walk into my patient's room and I don't know what to say? I don't know what to treat them with. I don't know what prescription to write. How do I chart this? I went to work on the first day and was like, okay, I got this. I'm in my zone. This is what I meant to do. I went in there and I walked into my patient's room, and still to this day, walk into my patient's room being my authentic self. This is all I have. Me, myself. This is all I have in addition to the knowledge I know.
Isn't it so dope? I'm sorry to cut you off. Isn't it so dope when you are comfortable being you? You can be as professional as you want to be, but at the end of the day, you Kenyatta, and you gonna give the people Kenyatta, right?
They're gonna get Kenyatta every day, every time.
Right. Ain't that so dope? I'm gonna just give you a feeling of satisfaction.
And my patients love that. They love that I'm approachable, that we can have conversations, that, you know, it's more than, hey, did you take this medication? I know my patients, we have that kind of rapport. How's your children doing? You know, how was your trip you mentioned to me last time?
Right.
It's more than just coming here, get a physical, get a refill.
Right.
It's more than that. And my patients enjoy that.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be 30, 40 minutes. It's, you know, I recognize you. I see you. You're more than just a patient on my chart, you know.
Right. So you give them that extra care.
Absolutely.
Make it a point.
Absolutely. I've been a patient, and I see the value in that.
Right. That's cool. So if anybody's looking for a good nurse practitioner, a great nurse practitioner, give me a plug. Tell them where you at.
You can find me in McDonough. I'm at Eagles Landing Family Practice right now on Highway 155, usually Monday through Friday. You can check me out online. Go to the website.
Pull up. She gonna get you, right? Right?
Yes.
I think half of McDonough's her patients, but you know.
And growing.
All right, so you've conquered nursing, then you conquering nurse practitioner, but again, you don't stop. You never are comfortable being. You're never satisfied being where you are. You always like, what else? What's next, right? What's the next level?
Complacency don't get along.
Right, that's not you. So, all right, so now you take the step, and then you become a businesswoman, right?
Yes.
Right. Then you decided to become a certified life coach.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
So I have a mentor, Chris Scott, and she offered me the chance to become a life coach. She said, Kenyatta, you know, you have so much to offer. You've been through so many different things, and you have a wonderful story to share and a lot of advice to give. So I went and took the course, became a life coach, and I'm thankful that I did, because now there's a certification that states that, you know, I'm able to provide these services for my clients. And, you know, my niche is mostly women, you know, about age 20 and up or so. I've spoken with some young ladies younger than that age, and it's various topics, more so like grieving, childbearing, relationships, marriages, goals, and like career paths, whatever you want to name that I've gone through, and even a few other things. Had some great clients and some great outcomes. You know, just trying to get everybody the best foot forward and to get them off the brink of, you know, get them through the brink of the breakthrough.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you started your career in business, and so now you pouring into other women, and you know, or any potential clients that you may have.
Yeah, it's women, but you know, if a man comes to me and say, you know, I really need help discussing this, because, and I've noticed that with even some patients of mine, men deal with so much.
Right.
Men deal with so much, and they don't really know how to verbalize that. You may come in with, you know, chest tightness and chest pain, and it actually be something emotional.
Okay, so stress or something like that.
So stress, those kind of things. So I'm open to any group, any individual, but more so women.
Okay, now plug time. Go ahead, plug your stuff.
So that is, my coaching site is bloombykenyatta.com. It's also the same thing on Facebook. Is Bloom by Kenyatta. That is the coaching aspect of what I do, but the brand is Kenyatta Collins.
Okay, all right. We'll get into your brand, but before we get into your brand, You dropped that book on us this year. Talk about that, man. So you're an author now. You a certified penmanship with the author tag.
Look at the wrist.
Yeah. You be signing off on those books upstairs, doing your thing. Talk a little bit about becoming an author and how you shared your story with the world and the inspiration behind all that.
So that was a huge leap in faith. You know, who wants to be vulnerable and share their whole life, you know, or a piece of their story with the world, because you don't know how somebody's going to react. You don't know, you know, you're vulnerable at that point. But I'm thankful I did. I got aboard with a book compilation, Beyond the Smile. There's many other women that got together and we told our story. We just put it out there because we know that there's healing when you talk about things and when you share things. And also, you don't know who's in the trenches that you can be pulling up just by sharing your story. And I'm thankful I did. So you can catch a copy of that. Beyond the Smiles on Amazon. You can also go to my website, KenyattaCollins.com, and purchase a copy. Any copies purchased through me will be autographed and sent out.
Hey, you got to sign that thing. All right, so first time author?
Yes.
So.
That was huge.
Okay.
The whole writing process.
Right.
The writing process.
How does it feel to say that you're an author?
I'm an author. Still has me like, whew, really? You did that, KJ?
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
So, sitting there and writing, you know what you want to talk about. But to actually have to talk about it in a structured format, that's different.
Kleenex session?
Yes.
Okay.
Because of the topic I was writing, I was very emotional. Very emotional. And, you know, I talked about the loss of multiple pregnancies and how it affected myself and my relationship and my daughter even, and then family. But more so my personal experience and how going through the loss of pregnancies affected me. So if you can imagine having to rewrite and tell that story all over in detail, I had to step away a few times. Right. A few times and coming back to, wow, I really made it through this. So when you see what you've overcome and what you've come past, the sky is not even the limit.
Got you.
The sky is not the limit.
Wow. I bet that book was therapeutic for you.
It was very therapeutic. I feel like I just exhaled.
All right. So you nurse practitioner, life coach, author. You got all these levels to you. So you say, you know what? I can't just give them this coaching website. I got to give them all of me. And so you created your brand that you were speaking of earlier. Yes. And go ahead to the people who don't know you. Go ahead and describe some of the levels to your brand.
Hashtag I am Kenyatta Collins. I am the brand. That is my website. It's KenyattaCollins.com. Also on Instagram, Kenyatta Collins. Hashtag at I am Kenyatta Collins. Facebook, Kenyatta Collins. It's all the same. But on there's links to everything that I do. There's the book. There's the life coaching. There's my mission piece because I do missions work, and also different training courses that you could sign up for your organization or yourself for the medical side and teaching and the importance of building patient rapport and how all that can grow your business essentially. So you're doing media,
speaking engagements,
motivational speaking, mentorships, coaching,
workshops,
podcasts coming soon. Stay tuned.
Okay, podcast. Okay, podcast.
Everything's coming up. You might be a guest. You never know.
Let me executive produce that thing.
Okay.
All right.
I got you.
All right, so now you're investing back into yourself.
Yes.
And since you've been through all these things on your journey to success or whatever, now you get to build your brand based on your experience, and you like to share these experiences with your potential future clients or whatever.
Absolutely.
And it's got to be a blast to hire you or book you to speak because you can touch on so many different levels because you've been at all these levels. And again, with the zigzag, it's a lot more zigzags than it is people who went down the straight line.
This show's not long enough to talk about zigzags. This show, I don't think I can. How long I got?
We don't got no commercial breaks.
Okay. So we got part 2 possibly.
All right. So I guess that goes into our next conversation. So what's next for you? Is it you focusing more on the books? Or you got more books? Do you got speaking engagements, media, mentoring, missionary work? What's all next for you?
Everything you just mentioned. Check all the boxes. Check all the boxes. You know, a big piece of what I do, I like philanthropy.
Okay.
I like to be able to give back, whether it be through Coaching for International, which is an organization that I'm actually on the board for, or many other organizations that I'm a part of. Francis Brown Foundation. I like to give back because I know that there were many people that poured into me to get me to where I am today. So it's nothing I did by myself, and I never will say that I did it all by myself, but I did a lot of work. I did a lot of work. I did do a lot of work, but I also want to give back because there's greater joy in giving than receiving. I get so excited when I know I was a part of somebody's day being better, whether they know I did it or not, because I don't always have to have recognition for everything that I do. Sometimes I pull back and being in the sidelines, and I see that you're doing great, so I'm excited about that.
Great. That's awesome. So it's more passion projects going forward.
Yes. One of my passion projects is actually starting some clinics in other, underdeveloped countries so that they can have access to medical care.
Okay.
So that's a huge goal for me, and I will accomplish it at some point.
So you legit want to save the world?
One clinic at a time.
There you go. Oh my goodness. Listen, y'all need to hire this lady. She's inspirational over here, killing it. Congratulations on all your success, man. I know you continue to put in that work.
Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision, make it plain.
Okay, yeah.
Write the vision and make it plain. These things are on my vision board.
Right, powerful. The short version of the Bible, but very powerful.
Write the vision, make it plain.
Right.
And I dream big. I don't dream small. God is too big.
Okay.
Too big. So I want big things, and why can't I?
Why not? Why not you, right?
I made a post the other day on Facebook. Why not?
Right. I bet the people were responding to that.
Why not?
Yeah, why not you? Why not the success? Why
I
not
might get some merch? Why not?
The merch. Why not get you some merch?
Why not get you some of this merch is coming?
All right, so now since you're an inspiration to the world, what kind of nuggets would you like to drop on people who follow you, or maybe people who will meet you from the show, and maybe they need one or two words of inspiration or motivation, or what you got? What kind of nuggets do you have for the guest?
Delay is not denial.
Delay is not denial. Okay,
that's
touch
one
on
thing. Because just because it doesn't happen right away doesn't mean that it won't happen. Whatever your dreams and aspirations are, I say give it your all. Go for it. All hands in. All hands in. Give it your all. Don't give up on yourself, your dreams. What is your driving factor? What wakes you up in the middle of the night for you to take notes or wonder about, ponder about? What do you daydream about? Go for it. Go for it. Like live completely, not live for status quo or live for what individuals think you should be doing or what you've been groomed to do. Live for you and live excitedly.
Whoa.
Be great and be intentional.
Be great and be intentional. Dope. I have some excellent nuggets out there.
Yeah, I think it's a 10-piece.
Yeah. Oh. not dollar million type nugget.
Nah, we ain't got no dollar.
All right, so now we come to a little bit more of the fun part of the show. I'm gonna call this rapid fire.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a this or that, okay? And so you kind of just pick which of the this or that you rock with, okay? And that'll help let people know who you are and what kind of vibe you give off. All right, cool.
Am I expanding on it or just giving an answer?
Nah, you just got to answer. I mean, if you want to expand on it, go for it. But again, we don't got commercials, so So all right, first question: Tupac or Biggie? Tupac. Okay, cool. Monica or Brandy?
Monica.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Martin Show or the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
That's hard.
Hey. Well, we don't give you the easy questions on this show. Martin. Okay. Ranch or blue cheese?
Blue cheese.
Okay. I think I know the answer to this one, but White Castles or Crystals?
White Castle. Okay. Crystals need to get together. That bread too thick. The mustard ain't right. It's just.
All right. Hey, Crystals, y'all heard her. Get it right. All right. Mayonnaise or Miracle Whip?
Mayonnaise.
Wow, I didn't know that one. Mm-hmm. That's cool. All right. Kevin Hart or Eddie Murphy?
Kevin Hart.
No
thoughts. Yeah.
All right.
Hart.
Cool.
What? I like that. You got more questions like that?
I don't got no more. Yeah,
like
that's cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you give a little sauce to the podcast guest out there. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna do every show since it's the premiere show. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this going forward.
Okay.
So since this show is dope, as we all
is.
know, you know, backdrop on point, microphones on point.
I like this.
Dope guest, right? So you know this show is legit. Now that you own the show, who would you like to see on the What's Up Chuck podcast? Now, before you answer that question, you have to have a direct contact for your boy, so I can holler at them and let them know, like, yo, you've been recommended for this show, and we need to chop it up. So go ahead, who you got? Who do you see on? Who do you want to see on the What's Up Chuck podcast? I
think just based on vibe and everything like that that's going on right now, I would like to see you have a podcast show with Kadarius Shannon.
Kadarius, my man, Mr. Shannon. What up? See,
I can get that connected. I'll talk to his wife and we'll get it connected for you.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
I know that show would be dope, man. We'd probably be
hilarious.
It'd probably be half podcast, half karaoke.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna sit in the back and hope I don't bust out laughing.
Oh man, that's my guy, man. Yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a good one. All right, yeah. So we definitely can set that up, man.
How much time I got to get this set up?
It depends.
Okay.
You know, you're a heavy hitter, so it shouldn't take too many moves. But anyway, listen, I want to thank all the people tuned in for this first episode of the What's Up Chuck podcast. I'm your host, Chuck Collins, and it is a wrap. Thank you. Good night.